Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and Game 3 in a series between MC versus Marine King here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. Game 3 should be interesting, everything coming down to this final game. Marine King able to take an early lead in Game 1. MC able to put in a lot of pressure after some critical mistakes by Marine King in Game 2. And we'll see whether or not Marine King will be able to bounce back, or if MC will be able to make it 2 straight games in a row to move on. This is from the MLG Orlando 2011. I believe it was part of... I'm not sure if it was part of the open bracket or if it was part of the pool play. I should do a little bit more research there for you guys. As we now see a front door being established by Marine King. Pretty sure that this was going to be the case. As we now see perhaps a front door build over here. The barracks most likely will be built a little bit further back. This is not a good location for Terran players, as the tech lab would end up being exposed, as opposed to on the top side where you can build a supply depot, another supply depot, the barracks, and then still add on that tech lab without having to lift off. Probe, now doing an 11 or 12 scout, will be able to make its way down the ramp and down the map in order to figure out what exactly Marine King is going. Marine King doesn't look like he's going to be setting up gas this time around as he did in Game 1, so we'll see if without the gas what his strategy is going to be. He could either go for a fast expansion or go for very heavy marine pressure. Both options very, very viable, as we now see a barracks rallied straight into his opponent's base. That is interesting there, as an SCV going to go in and get a little bit of zapping damage onto that probe. The probe just keeping track. He sees that there is no gas being mined, and now is going to wander back home. Back over here, Marines are being added. SCV now going to be doing a bit of scouting. A second supply depot should be added in just a moment. There's the upgrade to an orbital command. And now that the probe is gone, Marine King has set up a second supply depot over here. I am surprised that it wasn't on the front door, but then again, it may have been harassed, as there is now a Marine on the ramp and able to get some damage onto the probe. The probe may have been able to be taken down if Marine King was able to stutter step and chase after the probe, at least deal a little bit more critical damage. SCV going to wander around on the inside and sees that there's a lot of energy on the Nexus. This is a very important thing to note. That is a very large amount of energy on the Nexus, meaning that he has not been chrono boosting out probes. If he does chrono boost out, he should be able to get the Cybernetics core perhaps 3 to 4 chrono boosts onto it. And with 4 chrono boosts on, it essentially comes out as a 2-minute upgrade, which would be absolutely huge, meaning that we may see a 4-gate attempt. Now, we are getting an additional barracks as well. Marines are there. Marine King does have this one command center currently being built as well, so this is going to become very, very bad news, as the Marines are going to... Is he going to meet out that probe? No, he's not going to meet that probe. Perhaps going to wait for the probe to slip by, and then perhaps do a little bit of a flank here. Yes, and he does do a flank, but he does not control it all too well, as a Stalker is able to finish off that SCV. Now, going desperately into 4 racks in order to fight off no bunker as of yet, but there is a Nexus here, so it looks like all that energy was just saved up, and now MC has decided to switch things up and not do an aggressive 4-gate, but instead expand right behind this. So a little bit of mind games there, at least for me, the caster. It looked like he was trying to go for something else, when in fact he didn't. And now there you go. There is 3 additional gateways. Those gateways will upgrade into warp gates in just a moment, and we'll see whether or not how much pressure will be applied. Marine King still staying true to his name, getting in a lot of Marines, now mining away inside one base very effectively. 22 SCVs, 900, almost 1,000 resources a minute, just because of how his current build is set up. And now with 4 racks, and now getting a tech lab as well, he should be able to just train up a whole bunch of Marines with stim, as the orbital command now going to make his way down. Stalker is going to use a little bit of that very all-important movement speed advantage, and now with 3 Stalkers down here, we may see a Marauder being trained. Yeah, 1 Marauder to be trained with concussive shell to make sure that the Stalkers can't continually kite all of those units. 26 SCVs, 27 probes. Marine King with a definite definite mining advantage right now with the help of those mules, as we are now going into a Ghost Academy, something that I wish I saw from Marine King in the previous matchup. Ghosts are very, very powerful units, and with the double refinery, it should work out fairly well. One Marauder, a second Marauder is going to be added before they make their way down the ramp. The concussive shells going to perhaps push back this probe. There's only a probe here now, as the Stalkers have retreated all the way home, and with one proxy pylon on the far side of the map, there is a lot of room to just do some crazy antics there. Probe unable to escape. There it goes, as the Marines and the Marauders still wander around. Still no stim pack research for some crazy reason. We are getting more Marauders and going for combat shield first, and stim pack could be researched here. He definitely does have the resources for it, but instead going for Ghost, so he's saving his gas for Ghost right now, and he wants to get those EMP shockwaves off. There is going to be an observer that flies by. They are going to spot these 4 barracks. Is he going to spot the Ghost Academy? Yes, he spots the Ghost Academy there, knowing that he's going to have to deal with Ghosts. But now Immortals and most likely a Robotics Bay will follow, as Colossi are just as effective at dealing with mass Marines as High Templar, and High Templar are not nearly as vulnerable as they are to Ghosts. So we'll see how this is all going to play out. 2 Ghosts now down over here, an engineering bay being built on the far side to prevent any run-bys of any units. The Marines are now making their way forward. Stim pack is going to have a long ways to go. Combat shield, Marines, Marauders, SCVs still being trained, as the observers are still wandering around the map. Still more Immortals being added, but I can't imagine the Immortals will be that effective against this heavily group of Marines, Ghosts, and only 2 to 3 Marauders. The Marauders are there. Oh, there's a nice scanner sweep, taking down. And now Marine King, I think he was hoping for a lot more sentries that he would be able to hit. And now in comes the units there. There's an EMP shockwave. There's the force field, another EMP shockwave. And this was not a good engagement. Too many sentries over here on the far side. And Marine King just going to get absolutely beaten down here because of how well MC was able to split apart all of his units. Taking a look at the army sizes now, Marine King desperately needs to retreat. He needs to get some bunkers in, but even with bunkers, there are so many sentries, and those sentries are going to be able to put down those force fields that the repairs are not going to come in at all. Bunkers taking a long time to build, 40 seconds. It looks like this this wrecking crew will be able to arrive well before the bunkers have been completed. Proxy pylon now set up, moving home field advantage, and now I believe this is going to be the end. Marines do not have stim, no weapons upgrade, more force fields coming in, and really just being able to create home field advantage off of mass gateways and mass gateway units and 1 pylon. Using the advantage of Protoss, MC now with a current 30 food advantage, continuing this push, going to be able to destroy this orbital command in just a few seconds. And as soon as this orbital command gets taken down, oh, looks like it won't be taken down. And now in comes the engagement. Force fields now coming in, SCVs. Some of the Marauders are only going to be able to hit the Zealots. The Immortals cleaning up against many of the Marauders over here, as the army advantage of MC is just getting far too large. Stalkers continuing to push. It looks like this orbital command may get shot down now. It is going to take a couple rounds of attack, and down it goes. Marines trying to attack from the high ground, but there is an observer here as well. Down goes the supply depot, and with such a large group of just Stalkers, sentries, and Immortals inside your base, there's not much that can be done. And I believe MC will be able to take the victory here, coming back after an early, after losing game 1 to wins game 2 and games 3. Just waiting for the GG now. And Marine King, there it is. There's the GG. Stalkers and Immortals just far too much. Those sentries getting in Guardian Shields and Force Fields. And I really think that the Ghost needed to get the EMP Shockwave off on those sentries. It was very smart for MC to split up his sentries into 2 to 3 separate groups, and then all of his attacking units in a separate group. So it was almost baiting Marine King to say, do you want to EMP my casters, or do you want to EMP and deal damage? And in that particular instance, the reinforcements just kept on coming in. The damage to remove the shields wasn't enough, and MC got the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.